Chemtank has started taking over on Irelia, while Gwen Jungle is being spammed by Canyon in solo queue. By tracking the pros and analyzing the most recent data, we're ready to share with you guys 10 of the most OP off-meta champs and builds for 12.2. But before we get into it, be sure to check out SkillCapped if you want to truly get better at League of Legends. We're the only service that offers a money-back guarantee if you don't climb at least 5 divisions while actively using our service. We do this because our service really does work, and if it doesn't work for you, you shouldn't pay. Learn more at the end of this video or click the link in the description below. As highlighted in our most recent short, Chemtank Akali has started taking over, and joining in on the trend who you don't want to ignore is Irelia. What makes Chemtank so strong for these mobile fighters is due to how you gain stacks for Chemtank's passive bonus damage. Moving and dealing damage fills up the Chemtank, and at 100 stacks, your next basic attack deals damage. For a champion like Irelia, who can dash continuously with Q, you're able to charge the bonus damage fast to get multiple procs off in a fight. Of course, the added tankiness and engage power is a great perk as well. Catching the enemy out of position is extremely easy due to Chemtank active and offers another layer of engage power. Keep in mind, you're not building full tank as Blade of the Ruined King remains the rush item. Chemtank is slotted in second with Sterix third. Remember, Shield Bow was just nerfed in 12.1, so that's another reason to why the priority on Chemtank is rising. For runes, grab Conqueror with Triumph, Alacrity, and Last Stand. Bone Plating and Unflinching are optimal secondaries. Instead of standard Gore Drinker into Ravenous setup, a brand new build has been gaining traction and winning more on Fiora. The rush item consists of Stridebreaker, while Blade of the Ruined King is slotted in second. This build offers a great deal of dueling potential as the sticking power is immense. First, you have the slow from Stridebreaker active, followed up by the move speed proc from Blade. Once in range of your opponent, there is no way of them escaping you. This makes the build excellent in games where you're snowballing and have continuous kill threat on the enemy. Another major benefit to the build is the added attack speed. Gore into Ravenous offers 0 attack speed, while Stride into Blade provides 45%. Your ability to one-shot waves will be slightly weaker without Ravenous, but when you reach towers, they'll drop in an instant. Keystone-wise, Press the Attack has started outperforming Grasp and Conqueror. Fiora can proc PTA very quickly, so it offers up some added burst. After a couple months hiatus, Gwen Jungle is back and being spammed by Canyon in solo queue. All it took were a couple base stat buffs to propel Gwen back into a solid state. That extra base HP is actually more impactful than you'd think, as it can make or break early skirmishes. Ghost and Smite is your summoner spell combination, which allows Gwen to be very shifty. Sticking onto a target with red buff is no issue for Gwen. It's reaching them in the first place which can be difficult, so Ghost helps a ton in that regard. The added movement speed helps Gwen immensely in skirmish scenarios, as you can dive in, use cooldowns, and then kite around until they're available again. Standard build is a Gnasher's Tooth Rush into Riftmaker second and Cosmic Drive third. Both Lethal Tempo and Conqueror are viable keystones, however Canyon has been exclusively running Conqueror in all his games. Keep in mind, Lethal Tempo is nerfed for the early game in 12.2, so Conqueror should now become the clear-cut favorite. The majority of Lee Sin players are building Sterix or Black Cleaver second, while Death's Dance outperforms both. Death's Dance is often slotted in third, however you should not be delaying the item that late when against heavy AD comps. Sterix is completely viable second purchase if the enemy team has many AP threats, but otherwise you should be looking to Death's Dance. On your 2-item spike Gore Drinker and Death's Dance, the skirmish against other AD champs is nuts. You can heal a ton from Gore Drinker and prevent the enemy from bursting you due to Death's Dance passive. The Lifeline shield from Sterix only procs when you drop low on health, while the passive from Death's Dance benefits you no matter your HP. This makes Death's Dance way more lethal in games where you're ahead. Conqueror is Lee Sin's best keystone with Triumph, Alacrity, and Coup de Grace. Pick up Freeboots and Cosmic Insight for secondaries. More commonly played in the bot lane, but a force to be reckoned with as a mid laner for 12.2 is Tristana. Base health buffs are huge in allowing Trist to play extremely aggressive on her level 2 spike. You want to be hitting level 2 and jumping in immediately with W if the opponent is still level 1, so the added health makes this strategy more reliable. With Corki and Kassadin played at high rates in the current meta, Trist is an amazing answer. Both champions are weaker in the early levels, so Tristana can punish them very hard in lane. The core build is a Kraken Slayer rush into Stormrazor second and Infinity Edge third. Roll with Hail of Blades as the keystone, followed by Taste of Blood, Eyeball Collector, and Ravenous Hunter. Triumph and Bloodline are the go-to secondaries. Akshan has so many viable builds going around right now, but one of the most underrated consists of slotting in Stormrazor second. The energized bonus damage from Stormrazor is charged by moving and attacking. Thanks to Akshan's E, he can cover such a large amount of distance in a short period of time, which allows you to charge the energized damage super fast. For example, you proc the bonus damage and pick up a kill, you've now got a reset on E, so you swing to your next target, and by then you've got another charge of energized damage ready to proc. Overall, the resets from Akshan E and its long-range mobility means the value from Stormrazor passive is surprisingly high. Akshan Double Auto passive is another synergistic feature as you charge energized damage even faster. The ultimate playmaking build to try is a Gale Force Rush into Stormrazor second. The snowball power from this core is really insane. You can swap Gale Force for Shield Bow though if you prefer. Rune Page is the same as always with Press the Attack, Presence of Mind, Bloodline, and Coup de Grace for primaries. Best secondaries include Bone Plating and Shield Bash. A really interesting new playstyle for Sivir revolves around early Q spam to generate a bunch of extra gold. You'll take First Strike as the keystone and Teleport as your secondary summoner spell. This is a very potent strategy going around for Ziggs bot lane and can work just as well for Sivir. Everything ties together so well as Sivir wants to hit her Muramana spike as soon as possible, so First Strike and TP accelerate the process. Instead of grabbing a Doran's Blade, start the game off with Tyr and be looking to chuck out Qs whenever First Strike is available. When you run low on mana, it's no worries at all, as you use Teleport to get back to lane immediately to continue stacking gold from First Strike and mana from Tyr. Due to all the bonus gold from First Strike, you'll be able to hit your Duskblade and Manamune Spike faster to begin taking over in the mid-game. While sieging and poking relentlessly with Q, even more gold will be generated, allowing you to reach max items super fast. The complete rune page is First Strike with Freeboots, Biscuits, and Cosmic Insight. Secondaries are Mana Flow and Transcendence. AP Kai'Sa is no secret anymore, but there's a variation to the build many players are sleeping on. Instead of building Crown of the Shattered Queen third, Eluden's Tempest works so much better in the correct situations. If the enemy comp lacks heavy dive champs, then the value from Crown passive is greatly diminished. Extra poke power and damage potential from Ludens will be of much more use. Especially in games where you are ahead and are looking to siege, the poke from W and Ludens will really add up. It's definitely a judgment call based on each game, but you should be aware of Luden's strength and look to pick it up more often. Full build is a Manamune Rush into Nashor's Tooth second and Luden's Tempest third. Hail of Blades is the keystone rune with Taste of Blood, Eyeball Collector, and Ravenous Hunter. Run Freeboots and Biscuits for secondaries. A few support-related buffs have been issued to Tahm Kench, so if you're looking to pick him up, let's break down an undervalued build. Protecting carries is a new issue for Tahm, especially after the ultimate buffs this patch. Tahm's main weakness compared to other tanky supports is his lack of pick power. Leona, Thrush, Blitz, and Not all have great tools to make offensive game-changing plays, but with Tahm, that's not the case. To help compensate for this, building Turbo Chemtank is leading to great results. Chemtank is outperforming every other rush item on Tahm as the active shores up his inability to engage. Chemtank active allows you to catch targets out more often and fish for more aggressive plays, which increases your solo carry potential. Second item will be Dead Man's Plate, which offers even more movement speed to motor around the map and capitalize on the enemy's mispositioning. For runes, pick up Guardian with Font of Life, Second Wind, and Unflinching. Biscuits and Approach Velocity are the optimal secondaries. Just like Tahm, Senna is fresh off some great buffs in 12.2, but the majority of players continue to use the wrong setup. First Strike and Grasp are being played at very high rates, while Fleet Footwork outperforms both. Fleet has amazing synergy with Senna's kit, as her Q can proc the energized effect. When you factor in the slow from Q, which has been added in 12.2, your kiting power is so much better now. The ability to not only slow your opponent, but also gain movement speed helps Senna tremendously as a champion who lacks a gap closer. Another major finding our analysts have picked up on is how poorly Kraken Slayer is performing, yet it's still the most bought mythic. Divine Sunderer and Eclipse are leading to far greater results, so choose between the two based on the game. Divine Health and Healing is great to have against burstier comps, while Eclipse can work just as well into squishier comps who lack engage. Full rune page is Fleet with Presence of Mind, Alacrity, and Cutdown. Bone Plating and Revitalize work great for secondaries and amplify your laning strength. Alright guys, before we wrap this up, let's tell you a little more about SkillCapped. So, we offer a 5-division rank up guarantee, and think that's a pretty crazy thing to offer. It's like a gym membership guaranteeing you'll get ripped. Your local gym would go bust if they offered that, right? Not us. We've offered this for years because our service really does work. It works so well, in fact, that we're able to produce by far the largest catalog of premium league guides on the internet. We add over 20 videos a week, with over 1,600 guides curated into over 100 courses no one can compare. We've also sent challenger players comparison to Elo Hell 714 times and counting, where they commentate how to carry live. They also respond to all questions asked. Sign up today for as little as $6.99 a month if you are serious about improving. So that's going to wrap everything up for our 12.2 edition of the new off-meta champs and builds. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.